What's the scariest thing you've ever seen that nobody believed when you told them? I'll go first. When I was about 9 years old, my dad had already been gone for 3 years. He died in a car crash, hit by a drunk driver. After that, it was just my mom, my brother, my little sister, and me. Eventually, my mom started seeing someone new, and not long after that, we moved in with him. The place was in Milton Hill, Massachusetts. But it wasn't a normal house. It looked like an old barn someone had tried to convert into a home. Tall wooden 3 floors, and surrounded by empty farmland that stretched for miles. Even during the day, the place felt wrong. At first, it was little things. Objects would disappear and show up in different rooms. Doors would be open that we knew we had closed. And my mom's boyfriend, sometimes his mood would change instantly. One minute he was normal. The next minute he would explode into these sudden rages, like something flipped a switch inside him. I remember this one day during the summer. We were having a cookout outside. Everyone was laughing, music playing, kids running around. I went inside to grab a can of pop from the fridge. The house was quiet, too quiet. As I walked past the living room, the TV suddenly turned on by itself. Back then MTV was huge, and blasting through the speakers was a Rage Against the Machine video, loud and distorted. No one else was in the house. I remember just standing there frozen, staring at the screen, before I ran back outside. But the worst thing happened a couple weeks later. It was the middle of the night. I had just had the most terrifying dream of my life. I was in my old home, my parents' place, fire everywhere, my family screaming, shadows moving in the flames. It didn't feel like a normal nightmare. Felt real. I woke up drenched in sweat. The room was pitch black. For some reason that night, I had been sleeping in my brother's room. I was so shaken that I climbed into his bed and tried to go back to sleep. That's when I heard it. A sound. Something sliding across the carpet. Slow. Scraping. Dragging. I pulled the blanket over my head and listened. Scrape. Scrape. Finally, I peeked out from under the covers. And what I saw still makes my stomach turn. My little sister had this giant Raggedy Ann doll. The kind that's almost the size of a small child. It was about as tall as a 5-year-old. I watched that doll walk into the room. Not roll. Not crawl. It walked. Slow steps across the carpet. It stopped right next to the bed. Exactly where my head had been 10 minutes earlier. For a few seconds, it just stood there. Then it turned and walked out of the room. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. After that, every single evening I would sneak into my sister's room before bed. I would tie that doll up with belts, stuff it into the closet, and barricade the closet door with whatever I could find. Chairs, boxes, toys. My sister never knew why I did it. I never told anyone. Eventually my mom and her boyfriend broke up and we moved away from that place. And the strange things stopped completely. Nothing like that has ever happened to me again. But I still think about that house. I asked my mom about it recently. She told me she thinks the building was torn down years ago, but she isn't completely sure. And honestly, I hope it was, because whatever was in that house, I don't think it was the doll. So tell me what you think. Was it a spirit or a demon, or something else entirely? And if you've ever seen something nobody believed, tell me in the comments.